What is good, everybody? It is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. How are you feeling today, Chicago? The Chicago Bulls have finalized their coaching list down to 4 names. But which of these 4 fits best with this Chicago Bulls team? Let's talk about it right after this. All right, so if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. And we don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. And this video is brought to you by Matinelli Originals, the people who create these beautiful Chicago sports logos for the studio. So, rumors around the league are that the Bulls expect to hold their final interviews after narrowing their list down to 4 finalists. Those names are Denver's assistant coach, Wes Unseld Jr., Philadelphia assistant Ime Udoka, Milwaukee assistant Darvin, and the former coach of the Brooklyn Nets, Kenny Atkinson. Now, we've got some good names in that list. I think we've got some names that we all feel deserve a shot, you know what I'm saying? But which one fits best for this Bulls team right here? For me, honestly, it's 2 names that really stick out to me in this list. When I look at what Brooklyn's Kenny Atkinson did with that Nets team, there's a lot of doubt, a lot of shrouded information in that whole situation to me. But at the end of the day, he did get that Brooklyn team to being a competitive team once again. Now, do I still have some concerns with why he left or why Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant didn't want him as the head coach? Of course I do, but you have to look at him as one of the most qualified candidates in the room right now because he's already done this job at the head coaching level at a successful level. I like the fact that Kenny Atkinson was huge on player development, and I think that's what the Chicago Bulls need here. You need somebody who's going to come in and develop this team. So you have to look at Kenny Atkinson as one of the best names on this list right now. I mean, of course, is there some doubt there? Of course, I think there's doubt with all of these names. You know, the other 3 guys haven't been head coaches in the NBA yet. But I think if I'm looking at Kenny Atkinson as a possible candidate to lead this Bulls team, I think he's somebody who could come in and could possibly be the head coach for the next 5 to 10 years. But, you know, it's all going to be based on what production he's able to get out of the players on this current team. If player development is what he excels at, though, that's what we need here, right? We need Larry Markkinen to improve. We need Kobe White to get better as a point guard. We need Wendell Carter Jr. to become better as a center because I'm assuming that AK wants the pieces here that he already has to grow, and we haven't seen that growth. In fact, we saw regression under Boylen. So Kenny Atkinson will be a good name for the Chicago Bulls to finalize the deal with. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know your thoughts. Which of these 4 finalists do you believe should be the next Chicago Bulls head coach? Let me know in the comments below. The second person I feel is most qualified for this Bulls job, I'm not gonna lie. For a while, I was really looking at Ime Udoka, mostly because of Nia Long. Not gonna lie, but I actually liked the names that Ime Udoka who had been associated with. But after watching the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs this year, I have to look at Wes Unseld Jr. as a serious candidate for this Chicago Bulls job, and I'll tell you why. Listen, what is Chicago basketball built off of? It's built off of that hard-nosed defense, and we funnel everything else through it. Now, do we need to be an offensive team in the modern era? Absolutely. But what I'm watching Denver do on defense versus top-tier teams is very impressive. What I've watched them do throughout the entire playoffs versus top-tier teams is very impressive. Now, the biggest hole in Wes Unseld Jr.'s defense right now seems to be Michael Porter Jr., who doesn't even give effort on the defensive end, but whew, that boy is a bucket. But I digress. Essentially, Mike Malone has told us that this defense is pretty much set up by Wes Unseld Jr., that everything that this team does defensively is set up by Wes Unseld Jr. And so for that reason, I really would like to see him in Chicago, because we're seeing him get players in a league there where defense is really not as important. Play pretty good defense, play pretty consistent defense. I think that's a better word for it, consistent defense. He's getting these guys to come out night in and night out and give that effort every night. But at the same time, it doesn't stop Denver from scoring. It doesn't stop Denver from putting up big numbers. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that I've seen, even on the nights where they do give up a huge number, you know, that seems to happen in this NBA more often than not. Even on the nights they do give up a huge number, it's the situational defense. Now, that's tough to say after Mason Plumlee's big gaffe last night, but at the end of the day, Mason Plumlee, you know what I'm saying? And if you look at that, at the end of that play, still with the defensive mindset, you see Nikola Jokic shift down to be able to contest an AD shot with a very good contest, and it's just a better shot by AD. So I really love what I've seen of the Denver Nuggets in this playoffs defensively, and I think that could help this Bulls team moving forward. You know, I think we've seen that are the Chicago Bulls currently the best defenders in the league? No. So let's get a scheme in here that can help them become better defenders. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Zach give the effort, we've seen Kobe give the effort, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it just doesn't turn into production. So let's get a scheme in here that builds this team into a defensive unit that is able to move on a string. You know what I'm saying? To me, what I'm seeing in these playoffs right now is really putting Wes Unseld Jr. above all else. Plus, he's already got a great relationship with the front office. You know, he knows Mark Eversley. He's been a coach under AK's watch. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a lot tied there with Wes Unseld Jr., and I would really like to see him as the Chicago Bulls head coach. If I had to pick anybody else, I would personally choose the potential over the success that's been seen, but that's just me. But I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think should be the next head coach out of the Bulls' 4 finalists? Those finalists are Denver's assistant coach, Wes Unseld Jr., Philadelphia's assistant, Ime Udoka, Milwaukee assistant, Darvin Ham, and former Brooklyn Nets head coach, Kenny Atkinson. Let me know in the comments below. I will be down there talking with each and every one of you. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. And if you want to continue watching our content, click the link here or check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out of Chicago. Peace.